We're going to make a color wheel using acrylic paint. Acrylic paints are usually thicker. We use way less water with them and they dry really fast. A little bit goes a long way. You see, I only poured about as much as the size of the tip of my thumb. I'm going to use red, yellow, and blue, and we're going to make our whole color wheel just using our 3 primary colors. Here are the first colors, red, yellow, and blue. You only need a little bit of water. For the most part, we're going to wipe our brush with the paper towel, so you need to make sure you have a paper towel. Write your name on your paper and your class period. When mixing colors, you need to always remember, red and yellow make orange, red and blue make violet, and yellow and blue make green. Orange, violet, and green are your 3 secondary colors. When you mix a primary color, which is your first color, and a secondary color, which is your second color, you get a third color. The third color is called a tertiary color. Before I mix my next color, I'm going to go ahead and use a paper towel to clean my brush. If I was moving to a color that was completely different, then I would use water, but I'm going to have a little bit of red in my next color. Now that we've had our math lesson, talking about first colors and second colors, making third colors, let's have some science. When mixing 2 colors, you always want to start with your light color and add your dark color to the light color. Because the dark color is so overbearing, it is way easier to make your color darker than it is to make it lighter. So I have my red and I have my violet, and we're going to have a tertiary color, which is going to be red-violet. Tertiary colors always have 2 names, and the first name is always a primary color. The primary color in the name will be the more dominant color. So for red-violet, it is going to be more red than violet. To make the red-violet, we added a little bit of the violet to the red. Next, I need red-orange, so I'm going to add some red to an orange I've already made. So the orange has a little bit more red in it, and I need to make yellow orange. I start with my yellow and I add a little bit of the orange, and I should have a very light orange. To make the yellow green, I'm adding a little green to the yellow, and it should also be a very light green. To make the blue-green, I begin with the green, and I'm going to add a little bit of blue to it, and it will look like turquoise. Now for blue-violet, we're going to begin with blue and add the blue-violet to it because the blue-violet is darker than the blue. Now it's time for our color wheel. I'm going to begin by putting the primary colors on the inside of the color wheel just so that it's easier to spot them on the color wheel. Now that I have my primary and my secondary colors laid out on my color wheel, I can easily spot where my tertiary colors go. I'm going to place them in between my primary and my secondary colors. To get brown, I always begin with orange and I add the complementary color to orange, which is blue. When you mix all three primary colors, you always get brown or black. The difference between the two is the quantity of the colors. So for brown, like I said, it's easier for me personally to begin with orange and add blue. I'm adding it here and I don't think it's dark enough, so I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to add a little bit more blue, which made it turn green. When this happens, just add the complement, which is red. And now I'm going to have a darker brown. Typically, when I'm making black, I start with violet and I add yellow. But for some reason, during this demo, I decided to go ahead and add to the brown, which is fine. So in the brown, I went ahead and added some blue, which made it darker. And then I decided to add some red. I thought it looked a little violet, so I added a little yellow. And then I have black. All right, you try it.